Hello, class. This is Amanda Faree, and this is my response to the discussion board about outsourcing. So, I didn't find when I Googled specific companies that did any kind of outsourcing, but rather I found an interesting article about the top 10 types of jobs not manufacturing that have been outsourced. The reason why I didn't want to do the companies, even though that's what it asked us to do, is because everything I found was just news articles saying, oh, how dare this person, how dare that person. And as our book highlights, outsourcing isn't always a completely negative thing. So, of these 10 occupations, there were four that really jumped out at me. Two are ones that we use at my work. One is a call center, and one is security guards. So the security guards, they're outsourced from our company. It's another company that comes in, but it's not even like you would think of like an India call center or something like that. The security guards are locally outsourced in a sense. And as far as our competitive advantage, really doesn't affect anything. And if we were to illustrate a value chain, that would be one of those supporting items. It wouldn't be one of the main functions of our company because we're an insurance company. The call center is an interesting one because we outsource to a Florida company that picks up the calls that we don't. So it's not necessarily something that we use on a regular basis, but it's when our call center where I'm currently working is closed. So after the hours of 5 p.m. or before the hours of 8 a.m., it's outsourced to a Florida company who can help the customers as well. That is definitely an integral part of your value chain because we're a service driven industry. Um, and actually, the outsourcing of it, if it's handled properly, can give us a competitive advantage because some smaller companies that might not do the outsourcing will actually have to staff longer or just have customer calls go unanswered. And in this day and age, not responding to a customer immediately is almost completely unheard of and unacceptable. The other two items that we don't use but that jumped out at me as interesting are web programmers and designers. Depending on the type of industry you're in, I think if you are just a tech place, like you just do Facebook, things like that, they might outsource, but you probably want to keep more of that in-house just so you can collaborate easier and it's just something, I mean, that's your main bread and butter. That's what you do. But if you're just a company that's it's like say you're a bakery and you want to outsource the web design of your site, you're going to get the competitive advantage of having a website, and it really doesn't affect the value chain either because again that would be one of those supporting roles. So I think the general trend is if you outsource a supporting role, it works out a little bit better than if it's one of your core efficiencies. The other one that struck me as interesting in this article, and I posted a link to the article if you'd be interested in reading it, but the other one that was particularly hard word interesting is human resources. I cannot imagine a company where human resources is outsourced. Technically, it falls under that idea that support items are more acceptable to outsource, but human resources, I mean, I love the fact that I can, well, I guess I only email them, but I love like when I had my introduction just recently at work, working with them face to face and having a person there. I feel like, especially with anything that has compliance, having that kind of direct connection with an HR department seems very important to me. Um, but I guess overall it wouldn't really deter their competitive advantage. So I thought that was an interesting, and I'd be curious to hear if any of your companies outsource in any way, shape, or form your human resource department. But basically, what I found from Googling it is that if it's a support function, you can usually get away with outsourcing it. Outsourcing it isn't always super negative, doesn't even mean other countries. It just means using someone outside of your company. So that is what I found in terms of outsourcing, and please let me know what you think. Thank you.